The phone sits on the nightstand, dark and silent. You sent a text 3 hours ago. A simple check-in, maybe a light joke, and for the first time in weeks, there is no immediate ping back. The 3 dots don't appear. The blue checks stay cold. In your chest, a familiar tightening begins. You start retracing your steps, rereading your last 5 messages, looking for the invisible mistake that turned her warm energy into a block of ice. You wonder if she met someone else. You wonder if you came on too strong. You wonder if the connection you felt was just a figment of your imagination. This is the moment where most men lose the girl. Not because of the silence, but because of what they do inside that silence. Here is the hard truth that nobody wants to tell you. Her distance is not a mistake. It is not a random glitch in the matrix of your relationship. It is a psychological filter. She has stepped back to see if you have the internal structure to stand on your own 2 feet, when she isn't there to prop up your ego. Most men interpret emotional distance as a signal to chase harder, to demand explanations, or to spiral into a pit of insecurity. But when you do that, you are proving her subconscious fears right. You are showing her that your stability is a house of cards, and all it takes is a few hours of silence for that house to come crashing down. This script is about the unfiltered reality of dating and the hidden dynamics of emotional testing. If you want to understand why she pulls away and how to use that space to actually increase her attraction to you, you need to stop viewing distance as a threat and start seeing it as your greatest opportunity to demonstrate high-value masculine stability. The symptom is always the same. Things are going great, the momentum is building, and then suddenly, the brakes are slammed on. She's busier than usual, her answers are shorter, the "I missed you" texts stop coming in. To the average man, this feels like rejection. It feels like she's slipping through his fingers. But you have to understand the diagnosis. This is a test of your emotional baseline. Women are biologically and psychologically wired to seek out security and strength. I'm not talking about the strength of your bench press. I'm talking about the strength of your nervous system. Can you handle uncertainty without becoming a different person? When she creates a vacuum of attention, what do you fill it with? A man who lacks a solid internal core will fill that vacuum with anxiety, double texts, and "are we okay" questions. A man with a solid core fills that vacuum with his own mission, his own life, and a calm patience that is more magnetic than any pickup line ever written. Here is the reality most guys are too weak to accept. A woman's interest isn't a linear line that only goes up. It is a wave. It ebbs and it flows. If you panic every time the tide goes out, you will never be the man she trusts to navigate the deep ocean. She is watching you. Even when she isn't talking to you, she is observing the frequency you are broadcasting. Are you broadcasting, "I am okay with or without your validation"? Or are you broadcasting, "I am drowning and only your text can save me"? If it's the latter, she will keep moving away, because nobody wants to be the oxygen tank for a man who can't breathe on his own. You have to realize that her pulling back is often a subconscious safety mechanism. When a woman feels herself getting close to a man, she feels vulnerable. To manage that vulnerability, she creates space to see if the man is actually the rock he claims to be. If he crumbles, she knows he was just a facade. If he stays steady, her trust in him doubles. This is the diagnosis phase of the interaction. You are being evaluated, not on your words, but on your silence. Now, let's talk about the cure, because understanding the problem is only half the battle. The cure for female distance is a radical shift in your internal orientation. You must move from a state of reaction to a state of observation. When the distance happens, your first instinct will be to close the gap. Do not do it. In fact, you must do the opposite. You must expand the gap. Not out of spite and not as a game, but as a demonstration of your own autonomy. If she takes a step back, you stay exactly where you are. You don't take 2 steps toward her to bridge the distance. You remain grounded in your own life. This is where you double down on your mission. This is where you go to the gym. You focus on your career, you see your friends, and you engage in the things that made you an interesting man before she ever entered the picture. The biggest mistake men make is putting their entire life on pause the moment a woman stops providing constant feedback. They sit by the phone, they check her social media stories, and they let their productivity plummet. This is the definition of low-value behavior. The cure is to maintain your frame. Your frame is the world you live in. She is an invited guest in that world. If the guest decides to step out onto the balcony for some fresh air, you don't chase her onto the balcony and ask why she left the living room. You stay in the living room, enjoying the party you built. When she sees that her absence doesn't cause your world to collapse, she realizes that you are a man of substance. She realizes that you are not dependent on her for your happiness, which paradoxically makes her want to be the source of your happiness even more. This is the stability test, and the only way to pass it is to genuinely be stable. You cannot fake this. If you are faking being unbothered while you're actually vibrating with anxiety, she will smell the desperation through the screen. You have to reach a point where your self-worth is so disconnected from her response time that you truly, deeply do not care if she texts back in 5 minutes or 5 hours. That is the ultimate tough love realization. Your neediness is the very thing killing the attraction. You think you're showing her how much you care, but you're actually showing her how much you lack. Let's go deeper into the behavioral changes required to master this. When she finally does reach out, and if you stay calm, she almost always will, most men make the second biggest mistake. They reward the distance with immediate, over-the-top enthusiasm. They reply in 10 seconds with a paragraph because they're so relieved the silence is over. This tells her that you were waiting for her. It tells her that she has total control over your emotional state. Instead, when she re-engages, you should match her energy. If she was distant for 2 days, don't be a jerk, but don't be a golden retriever either. Be the man you were before the silence started. Calm, composed, and slightly preoccupied with your own life. You are showing her that while she is welcome in your life does not revolve around her. This creates a psychological rubber band effect. By not snapping back immediately, you maintain the tension that drives attraction. You have to understand that attraction requires space. It's like a fire. If you pack the logs too tightly and don't leave room for oxygen, the fire goes out. Her distance is the oxygen. If you try to smother that space with your own presence, you kill the flame. You have to have the courage to let the fire breathe. I know it's hard. I know the voice in your head is screaming that you're losing her. But that voice is your ego. And your ego is a terrible dating coach. Your ego wants certainty, but attraction lives in uncertainty. To be a man of high value, you must become comfortable with the gray area. You must be able to sit in the unknown and not let it break you. Think about the most successful, powerful men you know. Do they strike you as the type of people who would lose their cool because a girl didn't text them back about dinner plans? No, they are too busy building empires, solving problems, and leading. That is the energy you must cultivate. If she is distant, let her be distant. Use that time to become a better version of yourself. Use that time to solve a problem in your life that you've been avoiding. When you treat her distance as a gift of time rather than a sentence of loneliness, your entire vibe changes. You move from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. Scarcity says, I need her to like me because I don't have anything else. Abundance says, I like her, but I have a kingdom to run. And if she wants to be part of it, she knows where to find me. This isn't about being alpha or playing red pill games. It's about basic human psychology. We value what we have to work for. We respect what we cannot easily rattle. If you are easily rattled, you are easily replaced. If you are a rock, you are a foundation. And every woman, at her core, is looking for a foundation. She is looking for the man who won't flinch when the wind blows. Her distance is just a breeze. If it knocks you over, you aren't the one. But if you stand tall, if you keep moving forward, if you remain the same man of character and mission regardless of her current emotional temperature, you become the one. You become the man she can't stop thinking about because you are the only one who didn't crack under the pressure of her silence. This is the hard truth of the dating market. Your stability is your currency. Spend it wisely. Do not waste it on panic. Do not waste it on begging. Stand in your truth, stay on your path, and understand that the silence isn't the end of the story. It's the chapter where the hero proves he's actually a hero. Most men are just extras in their own lives, waiting for the leading lady to give them their cues. Stop waiting for cues. Start leading. Lead yourself first, and she will follow. The moment you stop fearing her distance is the moment you become truly powerful in your relationships. It's a shift from, does she like me, to, do I like the way I am behaving right now? If you can look in the mirror during a week of silence and say, I am proud of my composure. I am proud of my work. And I am proud of my strength. Then you have already won. Whether she comes back or not is secondary to the fact that you have mastered yourself. And a man who has mastered himself will never be short on high-quality women who want to be by his side. That is the ultimate cure. That is the unfiltered reality. Take it, apply it, and watch how the world responds when you stop being a reactor and start being a creator. Don't look for the blue checks. Look for the next goal on your list. That is where your power lies. That is where the attraction is built. And that is how you pass the test that 99% of men fail. This isn't just about dating. It's about the type of man you are going to be in every area of your life. Are you a man who is defined by external circumstances? Or are you a man defined by internal principles? When she pulls away, she is asking you that exact question. Your answer shouldn't be a text message. Your answer should be your life. Keep your head up, keep your focus sharp, and never let the silence of another person become the noise that distracts you from your purpose. If you can do that, you aren't just navigating dating, you are mastering manhood. And that, my friend, is the most attractive thing on the planet.